Iowa women's basketball victorious in Bloomington in another dogfight, 56-51. The women, the Iowa women are now 56. What is going on, man? I come on here and I'm like talking in backwards terms. The Iowa women are now 5-0 with the 56-53 victory, 5-0 in the Big Ten, in spite of two performances, which I think most people would admit have been below average against two of the worst teams in the league. Statistically, numbers-wise, they're some of the worst teams in the league. It's interesting how the schedule lacks balance, at least to this point, with a really difficult Big Ten women's basketball conference. I'm your host, Corey Brada. We're going to be joined here in just a minute by former Hawkeye great Kachine Alexander, who is all Big Ten at Iowa. And we'll also take your calls and read your comments. If you want priority in our chat and you want to guarantee your comment gets discussed, read on the air, you can leave a super chat. It's very simple to do that through YouTube, but you can also donate by means of Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. If you're interested in joining our Discord, you can do that as well. Instructions, I'll throw those up on the bottom of your screen, as we've got quite a few people who continue to join the Discord. And we just launched a channel in the Discord, so we can have multiple channels within the Discord where we keep our discussions exclusive to Iowa women's basketball. So I'll throw those instructions up here on the corner if I can find them. And again, pretty simple to join. Basically, you just throw a donation up. There's your instructions on the bottom via PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and label your donation Discord. Iowa with a 3-point victory behind no individual performances of greater than 13 points. Ava Hayden and Chit Chat Wright, both with 13. Neither one of those players wins our Player of the Game award. That goes to none other than Hannah Stolke, who had 12 points, but also chipped in 12 rebounds and just 9 field goal attempts. So once again, here we are sitting, 4 days after the last time this happened. I know these games aren't totally the same, but I feel like I'm sort of conducting the same post game that I conducted on whatever day that was against Northwestern, Wednesday, I think it was. Felt like an underwhelming performance all around. Iowa dug a hole. They didn't really dig as big of a hole against Northwestern. And it took basically the entire game to overcome the hole because Iowa's offense never really caught up. Iowa won this game in spite of just 36% field goal shooting. 36%. And that's because Indiana shot 37%. Yes, credit to Iowa's defense. Indiana also shot 11% from three. Iowa 25%. These were two struggling offenses. Iowa did not do itself any favors from the line. They were 63% from the foul line. These two teams were even on the glass. And turnovers is always a conversation with this Iowa team. And on the night, Iowa finished with just 10. So that's positive. They were actually +4 in that category. So they went on turnovers. Again, just 10 turnovers on the road. That's got to be progress because I don't know how many turnovers do they have in the first half. They had, let's see, for the first half, they had 8. So second half total, they had 2. So had to have it, right? Just absolutely had to have it. Iowa trailed at halftime 19-35. And then in the second half, Iowa outscoring Indiana 37-28 to win this game. So we're here to take your calls, take your comments. Big Grove's big play of the day is Chit Chat Wright's 3-point field goal, which gave Iowa the 1-point advantage with just under 4 minutes to go. And boy, back and forth it was there in the fourth quarter. And Chit Chat's big time 3 on a night where Iowa struggled. Both teams struggled from 3. What a huge shot for Chit Chat to give Iowa that 1-point advantage. And again, eventually Iowa holding on to win by 3. At this time, we want to welcome in Hawkeye great Kachine Alexander to the show. Kachine, how are you?
Good evening. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. This is the second straight game where we hop on this post-game show, and I think I can speak for both of us. We're probably both a little underwhelmed at the performances of our Hawkeyes, but a lot of Hawkeye fans say that you never complain about a win. So I guess how do you unravel this? How do you kind of talk through this performance just one game removed from a very similar looking win against Northwestern?
um, the first thing I will say, and this may sound crazy, but this is truly how I feel. I felt like we stole that game. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I felt like we stole the game. Indiana played well. I mean, they had their little scoring drought to a degree, but at the same point in time, it was neck and neck. It really could have went anybody's game at the end of the game. Um, I felt like we stole a game. Although it's crazy to feel that way because we should have won, but we didn't play to that magnitude. So in my mind, I feel like we stole it. It's great to have Kylie back defensively. I think that takes some pressure off of chit chat a little bit. I feel like we're able to see her offensively a little bit more in the second half because she's not running around with their best player. So I felt like that kind of gave me the glimpse that I was looking for, that I felt like would kind of bite us in the butt at some point. So I was happy that Kylie is back. Thank God for that. I liked Hannah's energy in the second half. I think that was one of the keys to our offensive pickup. I wouldn't say it was a great offensive second half either, but there was a lot of scrappy plays. There was a lot of, I hate saying lucky baskets because they still have to make them, but in my mind, it's like a broken play. Like, what in the heck? I'll take it kind of scenario. I'm still very worried about our offense right now.
So what's going on? I mean, let's just address.
I have no idea.
The offense.
There's a couple things. I think that the offense is now settling in because Hannah has now completely negated any kind of outside game of any sort. I mean, like not even attempting. With that, you see a lot of Ava being on top of each other. There's not much room for Ava to kind of do anything. So the only other option is so that you have to use Hannah in a way that her defense has to pay attention to somebody else outside of Ava. So I think we are just getting very claw heavy, paint heavy as far as the defense is playing us, and we don't really have anything else. That's what I think is happening.
Well, no one scored more than 13 tonight. And you brought up the second half. Iowa shooting 45% in the second half, which is not great, but compared to the game, Iowa shot 36%. First half, Iowa shot 25% from the field. They were minus 21% on field goal tries, Iowa to Indiana in that first half, and still found a way to claw back. This is not a good Indiana team. It was an Indiana team that was in foul trouble early. Like they had a bunch of girls getting fouls early, and didn't feel like Iowa fully took advantage of that. I don't know, that may seem like a simple concept to take advantage of that foul trouble. I'm just looking here at half one, and is it Makaluski? She ended up with 3 fouls in the first half. Boy, they have some player names that I have a hard time even pronouncing. Noyan ended up with 2 fouls in the first half. Saka Naguman ended up with 2 personal fouls in the first half. What was Iowa doing well in that first half to get a good whistle? Because they were getting foul calls against Indiana.
I wouldn't say they were doing anything actually important. I just think that Indiana was being overly aggressive for no reason.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, I don't think it was something that we were forcing them into.
Yeah. So have you, last time we were on here, we talked about the offense, and you just got done saying, well, part of it might be the Stulke effect and kind of what's going on there and her just kind of being relegated to the paint. But, after the Northwestern game, I think it was fair to say you were with a lot of people and saying, it's one game. They didn't play well. They found a way to win. Fine. It happens. But now that you've seen it a second straight game, obviously you said you're concerned. But where does that level of concern go? And from your experience, does game 2 back to back in a situation like this, is that usually a sign of really not good things to come? Or could it just be a 2-off situation?
I don't think I was looking so much at the game itself. I was more so looking at what our offense looks like. So you can have a bad day and just not be making shots. You could have a bad day and your offense is just all over the place. Like there's just no fluidness of it. You know, people are on top of each other. The spacing's bad. That's more so what I'm worried about. You can fix shot making, but the offense in itself, it just doesn't seem like anybody knows where the shot is going to come from. Which defensively, that's always a fun thing because you have no idea who's going to shoot the ball every time. But at the same point in time, I don't think that's in our best interest either.
And there's nothing else that you can pinpoint that has changed in the last week other than, hey, they've been dealing with some illnesses like the men have. And, actually Stolke hasn't played badly, like with what she's doing, but you brought up
our defense hasn't been good for a little while.
So I'm
catching up on us.
Okay, so I'm kind of living in the moment of these last 2 games, you think?
Yeah, because think about it. I understand it was UConn, but our offense was horrible then too. Like, sure. It's been a little while now. We just haven't been playing.
They put up 86 on a good Nebraska team at home. I mean,
that I will say is the one time I felt like, okay, I felt a little better. I will say that.
And they did put up 99 on Penn State. Now, Penn State's horrible.
It's Penn State.
Well, I know, but this was Northwestern in Indiana.
Yeah, but Penn State's defense is atrocious. Like, nobody has to do anything. Lemansky can go walk out there and get 10 points on Penn State. Yeah, Penn State is bad.
Yeah.
It and you even said it. Like, it was like one pass and score. Like, what is going on here? So Penn State, I don't even count them. No, they wouldn't even have to work for that.
Let's go to our we got a couple people here already on the phone line. If you want to call in, the number is 515-635-1601. You can also join by StreamYard. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hey guys, it's Brad again. I called in like beginning of the year 3 weeks ago, then like a week ago. Okay. I'll tell you what's wrong with the offense. You can't have an offense. You got 5 people and only have to guard 4. I mean, Hannah doesn't even face up to the bucket half the time when she gets the ball at the elbow. You got 2 people sag back. You got 2 people guarding Ava now. Tell me this. When's the last time you can remember the Iowa offense actually having a backdoor cut? They can't because there's no way for them to backdoor cut to.
Kachine,
then they all stand around. It gets incredibly stagnant. It's just bad.
Kachine, I'll ask you a question because I've noticed the same thing that our callers bringing up as far as post players on Iowa not facing up their defender, facing up to the basket.
When you say face up, what do you mean?
I'm talking. They get a post feed and their back is to the basket. They never face up and even attempt to make a. I know that Jan is big on not dribbling the ball in the post, but we never see.
But Corey, I don't mean that though. I mean face up. And we get the ball at the elbow. You get the ball at the elbow. You got to face up, and be a triple threat. You can't stand at your back to basket just looking to pass the ball again. You're not an offensive threat at all.
Okay,
it
the
kills
elbow,
the
sure.
offense.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of my point, Kachine, regardless of where that's at. Is that a facet of Jan doesn't want her bigs dribbling? Or is there more to that?
No, that's really what it is. Jan isn't Iowa's post players have never been those kinds of post players. We've never had a problem with it. That's not the issue of facing up. Right. Now, the Hannah situation is stop putting people in situations they are not good at. It's very simple. If Hannah can't shoot the mid-range, stop putting her there. It's that simple. Stop putting her there.
That's my point. You're asking her to do something she can't do.
Stop putting her there. If you want to use her in that aspect, then you better use her as a free screener. But putting her up there is a waste of space, in my opinion.
I mean, the bottom line is...
Or the coach says, Hannah, when you're open, face up, be a triple threat, at least be a threat to do something. It's not, you can't play Layla either. You can't play Layla at the same time with 2-5s. That's obviously horrible.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
There's just no pass and cut. And watch the game. There's no pass and cut. Everybody just stands around the perimeter trying to figure out how to feed it in. And then
is that true, Kachine? There's nobody cutting. I mean, let's just make sure we're speaking.
That's not their offense.
So when she's back to the basket there, you talk about her not being a mid-range threat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you pulled back the tape, are there players trying to make moves what's happening there where she's got her back to the basket?
Okay. There's no place for anybody to cut when you have a post on the on the block. You got a post at the high post. Where are you cutting to? Hannah's defender is standing right in the middle. There's nowhere to cut to. It's impossible. When we had a forward that can shoot the basketball to a degree, then you have time. You have space and opportunity. There's no place to cut, which is why they don't cut. I wouldn't cut either. For what?
You're talking about like McKenna, right? She used to hit the three. You'd have to stretch out the floor. We don't stretch out the floor. They sag back in. There's nowhere to go. It's a traffic jam.
So here's my question. Yeah. Is there a better solution right now, Kachine? Like, this is the first time I've really asked this question because I
already told you that last week.
Okay.
I drew a whole thing about what they should be doing.
Okay. But my question to you personnel-wise is it too late in the year to look at playing Hannah off the bench? Is that like for Ava, to spell Ava? Because like if she's no.
Who's gonna start?
Ava.
Ava's already starting.
No, I know that. You're saying who's going to start at the fort? I guess Journey. I guess Journey.
That doesn't. She's not a threat out there either.
Threes either. I know, but
she's not shooting mid range either. Neither one of them give me anything in that scenario.
You know what's crazy? I played Deal at the small forward. At least she can shoot.
Who?
Deal.
No, she's not strong enough down there.
She's 6'1". She can shoot. I mean, the thing is, it's just a boring offense.
But she can't guard.
Triangle. You can't run a triangle without Michael Jordan. I hate to break the news to them.
She can't
They're
guard
running a triangle offense. It's getting all clogged up.
Well, sir, we appreciate your phone call. We got to move on. We appreciate your input, sir.
All right, boys and girls.
Thank you.
Later.
All right.
Yeah, you would like that, but she can't guard a 4.
Yeah. Well, there are two people who can guard a 4 are Journey and Hannah, right? And unfortunately, neither one of them have shown the ability to hit threes consistently or at all. So, all right, we've got David on the line. David, welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
David from Chicago.
David from Chicago.
I really only wanted to talk about one thing. I wanted to give Kachine her props.
Okay.
Last week, you said something to the effect that Jen had to challenge Hannah with something.
Mm-hmm.
And what it should be is rebounds and defense.
Mm-hmm.
And just take all the pressure off her with scoring. Tell her that she needs to, get 20 rebounds a game, because she's so fast and so strong. If you just let her focus on that, and then she gets the 10 points, 16 rebounds, 3 block shots, and her fronting and trapping in the second half made a big difference in that game. She and Kylie. So I just wanted to give you your props.
Well, thank you very much. I felt like I know people were thinking of Hannah like, oh, she's not looking to score. Oh, she's not. I don't want her to. I mean that in the nicest way. Mm-hmm. I don't. I want Hannah scoring to come in the flow of her emotions. I know that sounds crazy, but like when she starts playing all over the place, she's jumping out on screen, she's flying all over the place, rebound. That's when I want her to score. But when we want her to try to make something happen, no.
Ain't gonna happen.
That is disastrous. So I was okay with her, looking for her teammates, boom, just playing within herself. The only thing that I would have wished in the first half is the same intensity she played with in the second half in the first half. And I'd have been A-okay with that.
That's all I have.
All right, David. Appreciate you being here as always, sir.
Okay.
Stay safe in Chicago.
I will.
All right, take care. All right, a couple comments here in the chat. First of all, Kelly reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button or the like button. It does help us immensely, so please do that. And Hawk in Vegas, what's the status of Emily Rodriguez day to day? That's the ongoing status. There's not Jan's not providing any updates on her status. So M Finn says ugly wins are still wins. Just ask the football team. It is true. It is true. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean there's not reason to be concerned for the carryover. But the reality is, like, you bring up a good point, Cash. Like, I brought up all the points they scored against Penn State. Nebraska, hey, that's maybe an exception. But other than Nebraska, they have played, I would have to think they've played the weakest Big Ten schedule of all 18 teams. I would have to think they have.
For sure.
And that all changes very quickly. So they get Oregon, they get Michigan State, then they're at Maryland, they at USC, home against Ohio. I mean, they don't have anybody else on the schedule.
It can get real ugly real soon.
They
don't figure something out.
Yeah, like at Purdue might be the easiest.
It could be 5-5 soon if we don't figure something out.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hi, my name's Craig. How are you doing tonight, guys?
Good, Craig. How are you?
Can you hear me okay? I'm a first-time caller.
We got you. Thanks for calling in.
Great. So I've been, a big fan of Iowa since I was a kid, blah, 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 like so many of us. But I've been really paying attention to Iowa women's basketball for about the last 10 years. And I really think that this year was really important for I think what we've seen, especially with Hannah, is the effect that Caitlin had on uplifting everyone's game around them, around her. Hannah definitely benefited from Caitlin, and it seems like she's never really, I don't know if it's just she's reached her ceiling or what, but she's never really, going into the season, we needed her to have an 18-10 kind of season. We hoped Ava would. And then I think I don't blame anyone, but, Addie, we needed to get, 15 to 20 out of her. Without that, this team doesn't have much offense, and they turn it over way too much. Yeah. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. My main concerns with this team are turnovers, and free throw line. They need some outside shooting help for sure, but if you can't get those two things down, you're in trouble moving forward.
I agree with you, caller. I the turnover thing, I was thinking about this during that first half, because Kachine, they turned the ball over 8 times in the first half. And I'm sitting here like, man, we're just a broken record. Like, this team does not take care of the basketball. Now, I give them credit. Second half, they only turned it over twice. Was that a difference in Indiana and pressure, or was that Iowa just being more concerted with protecting the ball?
Well, the value of turnovers, first half to the second half, that's how important they are, for momentum, for easy buckets, everything. So, but they've had a few halves where they've only had like 2 or 3 turnovers, but for the most part, it's been kind of a disastrous season, especially when you look at them. Half of them, they shouldn't be turnovers. Half of them aren't defensive plays. They're really lazy passes, poor passes, things that could be.
Well, it just seemed, Kachine, can you let me get your take on this? And I agree with the caller about a lot of these turnovers are unforced. There were a couple of dumb travels in that first half that are on catch and shoot. Like McCabe had one on a catch and shoot 3 that she made, and she's just shuffling her feet. But was there a difference first half to second half, Kachine?
Yeah, I think that they were a lot more focused on passing because, like I said before, I don't think that in the first half it was like Indiana was like this stellar defensive team. But at the same point, I still have to give them credit because they did turn us over. But I think they were a little bit more focused in the second half with that, because 8 turnovers in a half is a lot.
Yeah. Especially.
Yeah, there's been times they've had 8 and a quarter a couple times this year.
Yeah, that's.
But
we call
I love this team. I think they're doing a heck of a job. The fact that they won today is a small miracle, I think. But Michigan State, those are just really good teams. They're going to have to put 4 quarters together, or they're going to run into some problems. Anyway, I just wanted to comment that on some of that. The Stolke thing is that Caitlin did uplift. Her game was a lot, not better when she was playing next to Cece. Everyone's was, and I think that the fall was a little bit hard for people to accept, the difference between having Cece on the floor with Hannah and not on the floor.
Absolutely.
Probably,
Yeah. No, we agree with you, sir. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Sorry, I was a little nervous calling. I had it all in my head at first. I was talking, and the minute you hear the answer, you get all nervous.
No, you're good. Hey, the bottom line is you called in the first time, so now every time you call in here moving forward, it'll be easier. So
very true.
Well, I appreciate both of you guys. I watched Kachine when she was at Iowa, and I mean, like, I'm just an Iowa fan, so I'm glad you're out there doing that, Corey and Kachine, and I'll probably call back sometime in the future.
all right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's got to make you feel good when you hear people that say, "Yep, I watched Kachine," and just like it's nothing, right, Cash?
I always wonder, like, the people who did like watch me play. Like, I'm always like, is it weird now for you that like you know what I mean? Like,
well,
you saw me as like a basketball player with an Iowa jersey, and now we are on a podcast breaking down Iowa women's basketball. I always wondered that.
I mean, you do make it a little bit easier. The transition's a little bit easier when you have big 21 behind you.
That is very true.
So all right. And I did kind of put our phone line. I took our phone line off the bottom of the screen just because we've got quite a bit of people who are
all right, let's bang them out. Let's go.
Locked and loaded. Bang them out. Yeah. All right. Let's go to our next caller. We got Bo here. Bo, welcome. Bo, you're muted.
Sorry.
There you go.
Been listening. How you doing tonight?
We're good.
How are you?
So I'm glad one of the other earlier callers brought this up, but I guess that's something I noticed too, is when the ball enters the post, it really just feels like at times, I don't know if Jane is telling them this, that, well, we're going to run it through the post almost like a guard forward. Like, we're going to facilitate the offense because they're not even really looking like, oh, can I make a move to the basket here? They're a placeholder for other movement within the offense. And it just feels like we're wasting a lot of scoring opportunities down low early in the possession. I don't know if they're trying to milk the shot clock, but they're doing it even earlier in the game. The other thing that I don't know, Ava Hayden, while she scored some points, it just has felt a little bit, in Cash, maybe you can enlighten us. Do you think that she's maybe hitting a little bit of a wall because of the increased playing time, in this second season? Her shot just has not looked as purposeful or as on the last couple of games. I think we talked about, the injuries and the practice. Do you think that could be coming into play a little bit here?
I don't feel like Ava her post-ups are not as effective as they once were, meaning a lot of the times Ava's work was already done. She just had to catch and shoot. And I feel like that's not the case now. And I don't know if that's based what you were saying earlier about the offense and being a placeholder, because it doesn't seem like when we get the ball to the post, it's for them to actually score.
Exactly. It's just like we're entering it and then just let everybody run around so they can find somebody else. And oftentimes they're just kicking it straight back out to the arc. I was impressed at the end of the game, though, with the one where Stremlo got a rebound, I believe, kicks it up to Ava at the high post, who immediately dumps it back down to wide open Stolke for the layup. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful basketball. I just wish we could see more of that, but it just kind of feels like at times the offense is just going through the motions, if you will, and like they don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
Kachine,
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you how much does it, I saw something earlier where this is a Hannah bashing again. I'm not trying to make it that. I'm just simply saying from the perspective that Hannah is obviously has not developed the outside shot like everybody has hoped she would for the last 4 years. The fact that she hasn't, how much does that hurt whoever's playing the five?
Oh, 1,000%. Make sure you drop harder. That's anywhere.
and to explain to people that don't realize why that is. Explain why that is.
Because a post player that has the entire lane to work, you are able to make any post move you want. Right now, Hannah's player is sitting in the middle of the paint. So really, that Ava is only subject to half of the paint. She got to turn quick. She doesn't have more mobility, should I say. She doesn't have a lot of freedom because Hannah's defender is sitting right there, and Ava is one of our best players. So, of course, they're going to stick to her like glue. The thing that I will say is where kind of what I was saying about Hannah focusing on rebounding and defense and things like that is because one of the hardest things to do is box out somebody when you're sagging on them. Because Hannah she's crashing hard, or she should be, right? If she crashes hard, that's very hard to box out. It's a lot harder.
Cash, I was going to say that too, is I was a lot more impressed with Stolke tonight. Crashing, where it's even off her own missed shots, where it just seemed like she had a little bit more pep to her step and getting in there. There were a couple where she just went right around the person trying to box her out, got the rebound. I mean, that to me was a huge difference in the game. And I guess I'm sure a lot of people didn't see this. Somebody had posted Velichko's high school game yesterday against the number 1 team in the country. It was 1 versus 3. And I think she scored like 25 points. I was very, very impressed because Mitty was not feeding Velichko the ball at all, but she scored a lot of those points just on putbacks. And that's what kind of frustrates me. It's like, even looking back at past years, Stolke thrived on those putbacks. She really needs to hit that hard. So
yeah, agreed.
Good.
I hope that this will kind of carry her into the next game, personally.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is I got a shout out to Feuerbach. You know, she was questionable, and holding Shea Chesky to 2 points in the second half. I mean, I understand making Stolke the player of the game, but that's the unsung hero. And for the people who do cry about Feuerbach playing so much, that's winning basketball there. Shutting down the leading scorer in the Big Ten the second after 2 points, especially when you win by 3, that's the game. So.
Thank you, Bo. Appreciate you calling in, sir, as always. Yeah, there was a comment in here that I wanted to get to that was in regards. Okay, so Cyhawk C Money, in regards to the offense, he says, would Emily Rodriguez put the defense in conflict and create open dishes in the lane with dribble penetration?
I'm only laughing because half of that is very true. Emily Rodriguez is not a disher. So the second half of that's not happening.
Yeah.
But she is also our best driver. I mean, it's been so long that she's played, but she was like a brute. She would go in there and body people up for layups. So I don't know if the dishing part would be a thing, but definitely getting to the rim more and creating. Anytime you are in the paint, you're putting pressure on defense. So whether that's posting up and actually scoring through post-ups or driving, anytime in that little box, you create any kind of momentum in there, you're putting pressure on the defense.
Could you play Emily a little bit at the 4? At 6 foot? With her length?
I don't think she can play. She can't defend the 4.
You don't think she can defend the 4?
I don't think so.
Okay.
To be an undersized player to defend the 4, you have to have a different type of mindset in you. And I don't think Addie Deal or Emily has that mindset.
Well, I don't think Addie Deal. I mean, let's not act like Addie and Emily are in the same place physically. Like, if Emily's healthy, right now she's a large step ahead of Addie, just from a college-ready perspective. Athletics.
If they feel like she can guard a 4, or they can spell her a couple minutes at the 4, I'm all for it.
All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line? Hello, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Real good. I guess 2 thoughts. One, we're shooting, I don't know, maybe 5% from 3 at one point, and so we're just not making them. And every time I see a 3 launched, it's like everyone on the team suddenly thinks they bought a ticket to the game and they're spectators, and they watch it arc. There's a 95% probability, how we were playing the first half, that 3 is not going to go in. And they all just stop and watch the arc, and nobody surges towards the paint to try to make a rebound. And it's just, I just don't understand it because, like I say, there's a 95% chance there's going to be a rebound to be had, but they all just stop in their tracks. And I don't know, wish upon a star. I don't know what to describe it as. But the other thing I guess I want to comment on is, it seems to me like we're really lowering the bar as we go into this next surge of play with extolling the benefits of rebounding, whether it be with Journey or be with Hannah. We were 25 minutes into that game against a 0-5 Big Ten team before Hannah scored 2 points. And I'm just going to believe my eyes. We love Hannah in this household. My wife would get in a fist fight with me if I said anything too negative about Hannah because we love her. But if you watch that first half in particular, our offense just grinds to a halt every time the ball is passed to Hannah. I mean, she's frozen. She will not shoot from anywhere unless she's right under the basket. And as all of your comments have indicated, the paint is just jammed up for Ava to do anything. And so, I don't know, going into this next stretch, desperate moments require desperate strategies. And I would really love to see Ava move to the 4 and Layla brought in at the 5 and give that a shot. I think Ava can play the 4.
What gives you confidence?
Ava cannot play the 4.
What gives you confidence?
She can't shoot either.
Yeah, like what? Her shots.
Well,
her shots broken.
I just. Okay, pardon me. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to speak over you. I just watched Hannah play the 4, at least for the first half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that, what would give me confidence that Hannah can play the 4 in her senior year?
No,
but I don't want to pile on to Hannah though.
Sure.
No, I get you, but at the same point in time, Layla can't do either. She can't do nothing. She's not giving us anything.
Well,
at least Hannah is giving us rebound,
Layla.
Giving us defense. Could you imagine Ava and Layla playing defense on ball screens? Oh, we'd be cooked.
Well, what I know is one is 6'4" and one is 6'5", and the teams we're about to come up against, what I'm seeing today isn't going to win a game. But that's my comment. I don't have an answer, just an idea.
Yeah, I mean, I see where it's a problem, right? Like we're talking about Hannah Stuelke being our player of the game today, which is true. She's our player of the game with 12 points, 12 rebounds. That's a good stat line.
A great stat line.
But that doesn't take away from the issues that are stemming from an unbalanced 4 and 5, like on the floor most of the game. And even when Journey's in there, like we just talked, we're not just bashing Hannah. Journey, now she's
win without Hannah today at all.
Yeah, they're not winning today, but they're also not winning with this offense for a number of these games coming up. So, like,
right,
that's the catch-22 here. Because you're happy about the win. You got when you're 5-0 in the Big Ten, but can they continue to win this way? Like,
listen. I say this nicely, and I know we're talking about Ava and we're talking about Hannah and things like that, but Ava got to get it together. 6 and 17 is not it. I don't care where Hannah is located. She missed so many bunnies today, right next to the rim. She has got to get it together today, without Hannah or not. I don't care. 6 and 17 is not an option, especially when you're shooting 2 feet from the rim. It's not an option. So if Ava shoots a acceptable percentage, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So in my mindset, yes, I understand it's easy to, get on Hannah about her not being able to shoot. That's a given. We know that. That's over with. But at the same point in time, Ava is getting the shot she needs. She shot 17 times. She's just not converting them. Now, again, some of those, 3, 4, how many outside jumpers she got? 4? I don't know, 5 maybe. She shouldn't shoot none of them. I don't even care. Not even the one she made.
4 or 5 too many. Yeah, she should.
Too many.
Okay, but both of you know what has changed today about Ava's game, other than that, and that is she's been, I'll call it, muzzled. She had no fouls. She's not playing freely.
That shouldn't have anything to do on the offensive end. She don't get offensive fouls.
Yeah, what's that got to do with the offensive end, though? Yeah, I mean.
Well, because I think that I've thought this for several games, and maybe I've said it on this broadcast or just to myself, that she's just being whipsawed as to what it is they want from her. I'm
pretty sure she knows they need her to score on the block.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
Cash's point is she took 17 shots.
She took 17 shots.
She
made 6.
Most of those if you're around the rim, most of those need to be converted, correct, Colin?
Nope. There's no argument. I got to concede that to you.
I mean, and I don't want Ava shooting from the mid-range or from anywhere outside the paint ever. Her shot is not good. Okay. Now she's.
Oh, I wouldn't agree with that. I think she has a good mid-range.
Ooh. Who? Ava?
Ava. He's saying Ava has a good mid-range. I'm
gonna let you keep that one. Her mechanics are atrocious.
Yeah, it's a bad. Like the follow-through is bad. It's just look. Here's what I applaud her for, caller. I applaud her for the fact that she's willing to take it when you got Hannah Stuelke, who appears to lack any semblance of confidence from outside the paint to take shots. I think Hannah, we've seen Hannah, she doesn't have a bad looking jump shot, but she's just got no confidence upstairs. And so I will give it to you that Ava at least has the confidence of the staff or of herself or both to some extent. Especially in a game where you're struggling to hit 50 or 55, they score 56 today in a win. All of those shots matter. And I don't know. I still think the identity of this team is very much in question. I mean, they're 5-0 in the Big Ten, and yet I don't know what their offensive identity is. So it's going to be defined here over the next couple of weeks. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to look at the lineup, as I said during the game to my wife here. It's hard to look at the lineup and say that's a number 14 team, but by God, they have grit, and they came back, and they keep coming back, and they keep finding a way to win.
You know what this schedule? You know what this bad week start to the Big Ten conference schedule does for them? It gives them just more time. It gives them more time to figure it out. And if they don't figure it out, to Cash's point earlier, they will lose, and they will lose again, and they will lose again. Because right now, they're not playing good enough basketball to beat even half of the teams on the schedule remaining. They're just not. They're 5-0 in the league right now at the tippy top of the Big Ten. But they are not going to be even half the teams left on the schedule playing the way they are on offense right now. So we ought to be happy. They ought to consider themselves grateful that they have maneuvered a weak part of the schedule. But boy, it's time to rubber meets the road here offensively. You got to figure out how to deal with some of these weaknesses that we keep talking about.
Well, and just another point, and I don't have any answers, who among us does, but I do think it starts with whatever's happening in practice and whatever they're telling them on offense. I mean, I think it starts with the coaching, and I don't know what's going on there, but they sure look hesitant consistently.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
We're not going to disagree on that one. Thank you for calling in, sir. We always enjoy hearing from you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Phone line has one open. StreamYard has a bunch of lines open. 515-635-1601. 515-635-1601. Kachine, is there anything else we missed from that last call that you wanted to hit?
I would think the accountability right now needs to be on Ava. We talk too much about Hannah. She had 12 and 12. At the end of the day, I would take that any day of the week, 12 and 12. But Ava, she can't do that. She can't.
Well,
we will not make it far if Ava plays like that.
I think the reason, just for the record, I mean, 12 and 12 doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, because you need to have context in how the 13, because Hayden finished with 13 and 9.
Yeah, but how many shots did it take Hannah to get to that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I just think context was 6 of 7.
Yeah. That's, you can't. And how many rebounds did Ava have?
She had 9.
Yeah, I need more than that.
All right. To our caller on hold, we're going to put you on hold. Please stay tight, and we'll go back to our caller who's been on hold right after our super chat from DJ Doug. Doug says, why use the advanced timeout with a lead in under 10 seconds, especially with a 4-point lead? It brings the struggle to inbounds the ball into play, and I know many coaches do it. Your thoughts on that?
Because if your team, who is turnover prone, turns the ball over, it's further away from the basket.
Yeah.
If they turn it over underneath the hoop, that's a quick score with barely any time off the clock.
And this is an Iowa team that tends to have issues not committing mistakes like that.
Yep.
Katie says, any whiteboard instructions to enlighten us on today's win for future success?
No, every time we actually set a proper ball screen, tends to be in our favor.
By the way, what is speaking of ball screens, what has happened to Audie Crooks in Iowa State? They're losing every day now.
People are actually playing her how they're supposed to play her, making her ass work on defense. The girl can't guard a pole.
Okay, that's what I'm still, to me, like teams like Indiana and Iowa that played Iowa State earlier in the year, it's a fireable offense how those teams tried to defend her. I hope people know now, and Kachine is the same way, but why I said after that game, what on earth was the game plan on Audie Crooks? I still have no idea.
Crazy. Still to this day, I that might be the one thing I'm like, what? It should have been ball screen central all day. I don't care if it was a flat ball screen at the top of the key, a wing ball screen, a slot ball screen. You should have been ball screening Addie all day. Period.
Katie, thank you for the super chat. Kelly says, important question for Cash. Where is the Snuggie?
It's hot and I was frustrated. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Kelly. I was pissed off today.
What's the temp down in Charlotte?
It was high 50s today, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, that's bearable, right?
It was like 70 like 2 days ago. So.
Yeah. Christy says the Discord was fun during the game today. So, folks, following Christy's footsteps, join the Discord. Make a donation to PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App in our description and label your $5 or $50 donation if you want for a year. Label your donation Discord. Let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hey, Corey, Cash. This is Zach. It's been a while since I've called in.
Hey, Zach. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. Yeah, 5-0. It's hard to complain. We're trying not to.
Yeah. How much do you think potentially this team played down to the level of the last two opponents, and also the switch to starting Kylie in the second half kind of turned the tide, because it kind of felt like everyone was back into their normal roles? Does that sound fair assessment?
Yeah, yeah. That you're comfortable with. So, yeah.
And what was your first question?
How much especially the last two games, it almost kind of feels like they're playing down to the level of the opponent, going into teams who haven't won the conference and thinking, we're going to win by 20, and coming out with single-digit victories each time.
Every one of these teams that they're playing is different, right? I guess the hard thing that I have is this is not usually when you watch, I can't speak for other teams, I guess, but even for Iowa, when they've played some of these crappy teams in the league, and like, Penn State's crappy, Rutgers is crappy. When they're playing these teams, they usually do win by 20 plus. I mean, heck, they beat Rutgers by 43, Kachine. So then when I see them play a like team, like an Indiana, and I think even a better example is Northwestern the other night, and you only win by single digits, naturally, I mean, without even the eye test, being a factor here, I think it's fair to look at that and be like, okay, something's not right. I'm just not used to them playing down that low, Cash. Is there any chance they're playing down to their opponents?
I could probably say, okay, Northwestern, maybe they took them lightly, sure. But the next game, it's no way, because you almost lost that game. So the second one, no, definitely not. But maybe Northwestern, I've seen people do that where it's like, oh, okay, here we go. And then it's like, oh, shoot. Now you got to claw your way out of there, but you definitely not going to do that the very next game. No.
Yeah, and if Jen, I think, wants to try to go back to, I want to call it a two-post offense, whether it could be McKenna Velichko next year or a transfer portal, I think they need a 4 in the mold of someone like Hannah Stewart back in the 2018-19 season, because she could knock down that 12-footer, which kept the lane wide open for Megan. But Megan could also shoot a 17-footer. And that kind of concerns me next year as well, with only I believe, 11 on the roster now next year with Velichko coming in.
Good. We got room for transfers. Because we need 2. We need 2 spots. The next one is the 4 player, which everybody knows, a 4 that can stretch the floor. And we need an elite driver. We need an elite guard driver. I don't even care if the girl can shoot. I'm not even going to lie to you. We need an elite driver that can get in the paint if we need be.
Isn't that someone who's dealing with a back injury right now named Emily Rodriguez?
Well, guess what? I would prefer one that can actually pass, too. I love Emily. Don't get me wrong.
We haven't seen Emily in a while, but
I haven't seen Emily in a long minute. But that's one thing that I will say. Because Emily can shoot it. Okay? So I need somebody that's going to get in the paint, distribute, get to the cup. Like, I need that. I need a dog. That's what I need. I need a dog, and I need a stretch 4. That's what I need.
Anything else, Zach? What do you need, Zach?
Winning lottery ticket, but you can't win if you don't play.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't help you there.
Yeah. Nope, that's all I have.
All right.
Taking the call.
Yeah. Don't be a stranger. Come back soon.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. All right. Before we hit our next caller, we've got, let's see here. Sheila wants to know the favorite game you ever played in. Was it a particular rivalry game, Kachine? Did you love Cyhawk? What game did it for you?
Iowa State, of course. I don't like Bill Finley, so that was always a game for me. And somehow he always ended up running his mouth. So, yeah.
And he recruited you. He recruited you.
That's why he was always running his mouth.
Okay, so he ran his mouth at you?
Yeah, there was one. I remember one of my years, maybe junior year. He was telling people like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna make her go left. She can't go left." Okay, watch this. I went left the whole game, just because I was pissed off. I'm petty like that. Oh, okay, watch this. We're gonna go left the whole game.
There's the answer to Kashine's favorite game. Annie says that frame 21 jersey behind you looks awesome. So would agree with that.
It's been with me since the day I left Iowa.
And Steve says he just got here, but he, of course, hit the like button. How about everyone else? So please hit that like button. Thumbs up does help the channel immensely. All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line? Thumbs up does help the channel immensely. All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air with Kachine.
Hey, Kachine and Corey, this is Jay in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hey, Jay, how are you? Are you able to turn your TV or your computer down just a little bit so we can't hear ourselves?
Yeah.
That didn't sound too convincing.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. How about that?
So I have 2 points. Have you noticed that in the end of the game, Stolke going back to the Final Four with UConn just is like a deer in headlights and passes the ball away? And B, have you also noticed Jan's befuddling substitution pattern? She's stubborn in her substitutions. And why do you have Hannah in the end of the game when she shoots 50%?
Yeah, those are 3 good questions. Let's start with the third, Kachine, because I saw someone on social media ask the same thing.
So 2 things. I think that on some occasions I could definitely see Hannah being in the game at certain situations because she's a great defender for a post player. She's a better defender than Journey is as far as off ball screens, things like that. However, there were a few occasions where I was like, this is a perfect time to take Hannah out of the game. Kind of like an offense, defensive sub out. That doesn't always work the greatest because you do want Hannah in for defensive purposes. But definitely there were some opportunities that were missed that we could have gotten her out of there. What was the other one?
What was your other question, sir?
My other question was not to bash Hannah. She had a great game. But have you noticed, even going back to the Final Four game with UConn towards the end of the game, she just whips the ball without even looking, and it's always a turnover at the end of the game or in a late game situation. Hannah just whips the ball, and it's a sure turnover whenever Hannah has the ball in the end of the game, even going back to the Final Four game with UConn.
I don't think we've ever seen Hannah get away from that. Honestly speaking, I feel like she's always had moments like that where we're like, what is that? Yeah, that's kind of.
That's just who she is, I think, at this point.
Just, I don't think she's ever gotten to a point where we're like, oh my gosh, Hannah is making so much more better decisions. Like, I don't think we've ever fully went to that yet.
Anything else, caller?
Well, what I was saying was, when we have a 3 or 4 point lead at the end of the game, why don't you just have everybody in there that shoots 80%, or at least get the ball to somebody that is shooting 80%? Why would you give the ball to Hannah when she is just barely hitting the front of the rim as of right now?
Because she's open.
Well, but he's saying, why have her on the floor?
Because it's not that simple, right? Like, let's think about it. The other team just scored, right? So unless somebody calls a timeout, there's nothing that's going to happen. They're going to end up fouling whoever they can foul, which is the worst free throw shooter, i.e. Hannah. Okay? If we call a timeout, they call a timeout. That is when I was saying Hannah should not be in the game, because they're going to foul. And you have time to sub her out and then sub her back in. Well, when the play is going to a degree, you don't want to not have her in the end of the game. It's situational, because she does provide defensive rebounding. She does provide defense in general. As far as post player is concerned, she does provide that for us. So it's kind of a give and pull, like I said before. But if there's ever a timeout, Hannah should not be coming back on the court. If it's like, that last minute when they're fouling scenario, she should not be coming back on the court. She should be in the first seat, though, because as soon as we shoot our free throws, that second free throw, she comes to the table, and we know she's going in for whoever she's supposed to be going in for. So now she can get in and play defense like you need her to.
Does that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, but see, Jan doesn't go like what Cash said a couple games ago.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Jan doesn't go with the flow of the game. Like, towards the end of the game, if things aren't working out well, then call a timeout. Take Hannah out. I mean, I wanted to jump a cliff when Hannah went 0 for 2 at the line, and we almost blew the lead.
Well, don't jump a cliff. It's probably not the last time it'll happen.
It won't.
But yeah, I mean, you are limited on timeouts. What, you get 5 a game, Kachine, or 4 a game?
Yeah, you have to be very strategic with that, because what happens if they make some miracle play and then we ain't got no timeouts because we used it because of Hannah? You have to be very strategic about that. But at the same point, like I said before, I do not think that we utilized the offense-defense substitution correctly at the end of the game. But yeah.
We've said that before. So
yes, we have.
Appreciate you calling in, sir, and we'll look forward to the next time.
Okay, thank you. And I think Cash should be the head coach.
There's an endorsement. Thank you, sir. Cash is he wants you as the next head coach. So I was thinking he wasn't liking your answers, but then
listen. They completely turned me off for that whole scenario, even if that was a thought in my head. Do you remember when Jan first got the head coaching job and people were like on her about her like antics? That's what they called them, like on the sideline.
Yeah.
Those people would hate me because I'd be up and down that sideline constantly. So I'd be like a more reserved and tolerable Kim Mulkey, in my opinion.
Please don't compare yourself to Kim Mulkey.
Let me be honest with you. I like Kim's fire for her team. 1,000%. The way that she gives them energy and she is like, cheering for her team and things, I'm all for that. I don't like the other stuff that she do. The rest of it, I'm not doing that. But at the same point in time, I love the fire she brings for her team. I just don't like the rest of it. That's just a little much. So that's why I said a reserved, because we're not doing that. We have a little bit of class with how we act. But yeah.
Bless you, boys, says, we didn't take long to get back to the Kylie Fearbox getting too many minutes train. He says Kylie's a senior, but why is she getting more minutes than Journey?
He said that now?
He said that now.
That's a weird game to say that for.
Well, I mean, she hadn't played in how long? So
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, she had
listen, I thought she did fantastic for her first game back. I mean, hell, she pretty much she had a big time 3. And then on top of that, she shut down the girl. Shizek, whatever her last name is. So I thought she did fantastic coming back.
All right. We've got a caller on our StreamYard line. We got Jacob here. Jacob, welcome.
How we doing?
Good. How are you, bud?
Doing great.
Great.
Calling in here from Michigan.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Big fan of the show.
Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate that. Is that a Caitlin Clark jersey you got on?
It's Fever.
Of course it is.
Yeah. A couple of points here. First being, it's going to be a hot topic. All right.
Okay.
Who is more important to their respective teams?
Oh God.
We're going back to this.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark to Iowa.
Oh God.
Bennett Sturts to Iowa. Or Caden Weege to the football team.
It's still okay. I will backtrack on that position that I had 2 months ago. Partly Jacob, because I've seen Iowa actually play pretty well with Bennett Sturts in foul trouble here of late. And so, yeah, for some of the same principles that I argued the other way before, I just hadn't seen Iowa men's basketball without Bennett. I would go Caitlin Clark by far. Now, Caden Weege to Iowa football, I mean, you know, as great as he is as
a lot of points.
I know, as great as he is as a punt returner, hard to measure him versus the value that Caitlin Clark brings to a basketball team. But it's a good question. It's a question that you're trying to get me to start a debate again with Cash. So I get it. I respect it.
I wasn't going to debate. There was no reason for me to debate. It was on national television the last 2 games. So I didn't have to say anything. You are a smart man, Corey. So I knew.
What was on national television?
That Iowa men's basketball was playing better without him than they were with him.
Sure. Well,
so
yeah.
You were a smart guy. I knew that you were seeing what I was seeing. So I didn't have to say anything. I was going to let you say.
They're in a weird place. The men's team is in a weird place right now, Jacob. So anyways.
They sure are.
Yeah.
What you got? What else you got?
So when they were inbounding the ball, Iowa in that women's game, from trying to get it into Hannah, like we were talking about last caller, why didn't they throw it into the backcourt to waste some seconds?
Because you can't. So now, once you
advance the ball, you can't throw it.
Once you advance the ball, you cannot go back over the half-court line.
Really?
Yes.
Is that a new rule?
No. And anytime, well, I guess the advance has only been how many years? 5 years now? 4 years? Something like that. I don't know. Maybe more. But once you advance, you actually call the timeout to advance the basketball. You cannot go over that line.
Got it.
Weird.
Because in the NBA, I can't speak for the WNBA, but in the NBA, you can advance it and throw it back into the backcourt.
That's what I was thinking. So
yeah, they don't let you do that.
Interesting. Okay.
And then my last point is how important is McKenna Lichko going to be to this team next year?
You know, somebody sent me that video y'all was talking about. I would like to watch her. Somebody said that there was a video somewhere of her last game or something.
Yeah,
I would love for y'all to send me that so I could get a better look at her. Because I like her size. I love the possibility of what she could be for a stretch 4 and 3, honestly, because she could be a really big 3. I just want to see her. a little bit more before I have any speculations about that, because I didn't see Addie Deal beforehand. So I may have had something to say about it. But I would like to see her. I'm going to plan to try to see some kind of film, video, preferably an actual game and not highlights, because that could look like anything. So,
well, that's what most fans watch is highlights.
I don't care about highlights.
Nor should you.
Yeah. So if anybody has that game or knows where I can find the last game that she played that whoever was talking about, let me know or send it to me, Twitter or something. Because I would like to see it.
And then, sorry, I have one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know we haven't had this situation this year.
Yeah.
For technical fouls, would you rather have McCabe shooting or Chit Chat shooting?
Damn.
It's a good question. Kind of a random question, but good question.
It is random.
I would probably go with McCabe. Go ahead, Kachine.
Go ahead. No, you said McCabe.
Well, I was going to say McCabe just because she's just such a pure shooter, but at the same time, she doesn't go to the line as much because she
when did the technical happen?
Hasn't happened yet.
No, I'm saying, hypothetically speaking, is it in the heat of the game? Like, is it crunch time? Is it just a random technical?
Let's just crunch time.
I'm going with Chit Chat.
Chit Chat?
If it's not crunch time, Taylor can shoot it.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
I feel like Taylor could get rattled a little bit more. I don't know why, but I feel that way.
Yeah. Well, if Chit Chat's not getting over the flu, I think that's been happening here of late.
Look, that team is completely sick. What's up with that?
Yeah, it seems like it's going around multiple Iowa teams right now.
All over. It's probably through the whole athletic department.
Right.
Honestly.
Well, the good news is it'll probably run its course, and then we should be good here by second half of January. So.
Yep. Well, thank you for calling in.
Absolutely.
Yep,
absolutely. We'll talk to you soon. It was a good call. He's got to call in again, right, Cash?
He does. That was awesome.
Bringing the energy, bringing the questions. So that's great. Okay, let's see here. Before we wind this thing down, we've got two people still on hold. It's amazing. You know, they struggle to beat Indiana, who's winless in the conference, and yet people just show up here in droves. So it's great. We appreciate all the support. Lemansky says, show Cash energy. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that like. So please do that.
Of course.
And Doc P says, how about Tegan? Thought she would be more of a contributor. And Cool Water adds to that, says, I guess Coach Jay has decided she's pretty much done with Layla, Callie, and Tegan for the year. Kachine, Corey, any thoughts on that? Well, I'll say this. Callie was going to play as long as Kylie was hurt, and especially Kylie and Emily. Now that Emily's back, Callie's not going to play. And then Tegan was just never going to play. I had people arguing with me like 4 weeks ago at the beginning of the season that she was going to be, she was hurt and she was going to be this big contributor. And I'm like, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's sort of like the way I look at Trevin Urach for the men. Like, I just don't think she's right now looks like a Big Ten caliber player. So she's not, in my opinion, I wouldn't be playing her. And when Jan has played her, I don't think it's particularly gone all that well. But there must be some, like Tegan's there must be some people in her family that watch this show or her friend zone or something, because whenever I even make a mildly critical comment about Tegan Mullaney, I get trashed for it. So it's nothing personal. I'm answering the question. I don't think she's going to play. I don't think she's going to bust into the rotation.
Let me say this. I know there are a lot of people are like, oh, we need to give her a chance. We need to do this. We need to do that. One of the biggest things that I've always told people is that when you get a chance, you have to do something with it, because you're already low totem pole. So what's the worst that could happen? You're going to go back on the bench. You've been sitting there. So you might as well just go play. But Callie is a good example, right? She was pretty far down on the bench. Don't get me wrong. But even with our injuries, when she did come out there, if she would have just been horrible, she would have never got another chance. We would have figured it out another way. But you have to make the most of the minutes that you are given when you are given them. And I think for Tegan's scenario is that even when she is given them, she just looks so far down compared to the rest of the talent that is out there. And I think that's what is causing hesitation, because We put you out there. We're trying. And plus, practice is another time. You're going against your starters all the time. Are you doing anything with that time either? Because if you are, I can guarantee you they're going to play you. Why? Because coaches don't want to lose their job. So if you're consistently beating whoever's in front of you, you're going to play. But I can guarantee you that's not the case. So that's where you're getting that from. I can't play you in game on a whim. You have to show me consistently in practice for me to take that chance in the game. The game is what matters. Practice for coaches. Okay. For coaches, the game is what gets me fired or gets me a bonus. So practice is practice. That's obviously a good thing, but I need you to be consistent in practice. I need you to show up and I need you to take names in practice because I guarantee you'll see your leash come a lot longer in the game. It's usually what tells me everything I need to know.
Michael says people want Tegan based on what they thought she would be.
Correct.
And
1,000%. Good job, Michael. That was perfect.
And in response to Richard, who says Tegan has been out for a very long time. I see this comment. Like, I don't know where you're getting that. I mean, she's not on the injury report. She has played since she was out.
Are you talking about the tonsil thing?
I don't know if this is the tonsil thing or some other surgery.
It can't be that. That don't take that long.
Yeah, I'll just say the same thing I said 4 weeks ago. It doesn't matter if she's healthy or not healthy right now. And I don't think she is going to be able to improve based on what I've seen in game. I don't think she's going to be able to improve enough in season to be able to bust through in the rotation, even though they have a great need at the 4 for a stretch 4. And she's just not defensively. She's not.
Think about that, Corey.
Huh?
You just said that. We have a serious need at the stretch 4, right?
Yeah.
And she's not playing.
Right. Well,
that should tell you everything you need to know about what she's producing or not producing. Because the fact that is such a need for us, and we have this mindset of, oh, Tegan, she can shoot and blah, 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 blah. You don't think if she was even semi, we wouldn't be trying that option? Because we are in desperate need of it. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Larry says that the Midi Ontario game, which features McKenna Velichko, is on YouTube on the Max Preps Game of the Week. So we'll try to find that and get it over to you, Cash. JS Seahawk says, would Lisa make a change with the offense if she was still there?
I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, she's done it once, but I mean, when I was there. We were triangle offense. We changed to read and react. I remember that. I don't know. I don't think she did it in the middle of the season, though. I will say that. But what she did do is that during that transition, like clearly she knew it wasn't working, is that we became a little bit more of a set team, not a motion offense team. And then the whole summer we spent transitioning to the read and react.
Hard to make those changes in season, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You don't have enough time.
Yeah. Annie says, sweet comeback after a bad first half. Nice win. Thank you for the super chat, Annie. Much appreciated. And Katie says, what should be the focus to keep moving forward with wins in the Big Ten? That's got to be the number one focus right now with this team.
Christ.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make your day bad. I just was reading Katie's question. I didn't know it was that serious.
No, because that's a really good question, Katie. Because there's so many things. I'm just trying to figure out what if I had to choose one, what would it be? I think it would have to be figuring out our offensive identity.
Okay.
Is it going to be we're going to run through Ava? Cool. Is it going to be like what's our offensive identity?
Okay. Tim wants to know, can you talk about having Hannah screen for the shooters off ball to at least open up the middle or the shooter?
As in what I talked about last postgame?
Yeah, I mean, I would refer people back to that whiteboard session. right?
Yeah. Well, you clipped it too, I think. Did you clip it? No, you didn't clip it.
No, we didn't. Well, we could still do that. We could still clip it.
So I think based off of what other people were talking about Hannah and her not being able to face up and things like that, and it kind of creating an area that is not giving Ava freedom on the post. I would like to see, actually, I would like to see a double staggered the other way too. You could do that with Hannah being the last option, maybe one with Chit Chat first, Taylor McCabe coming off, because again, that's 2 screens they now have to work through because Hannah's person is sitting right in the paint. I would like to find false action. That's what I'm going to call it. False action away from the basketball that allows Ava to have more of a one-on-one look. Things like that. I really feel like Jan and the coaching staff has to get a little bit of creative on the offensive end, because with that 4 situation, which is not going to change, we have to figure out how to make sure that when stuff gets hard, we have the ability, because I guarantee you the better teams you play, the harder it's going to be offensively, because they are going to be better at their scout.
Yeah, just reality. Tina on Twitter, on X, says, what do you two think about Jan's press conferences? I don't think she takes enough accountability. Seems like she blames the players for everything. It just seems like Jan has an attitude when Erod's name gets mentioned. Interesting. I
didn't
think,
watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, Kachine's not watching all these press conferences. I try to, if I'm there covering a game, then I'm at the press conference. I try to keep up with the press conference.
What did she say? How about, tell me, what did she say that makes you feel like that? Tell me that. And then I can probably, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why she gets irritated with Emily, because anybody gets irritated when you keep asking them the same question.
Yeah, well,
if there was something new, she would tell you. So I think that's.
I will say though,
irritating.
That's the media's job.
I don't disagree with that.
Well, I'm going to ask her every single night. Do we have an update on Emily? And if she doesn't want
to
get
irritated,
she doesn't have to answer.
Yeah. No, she's going to answer it, but it's irritating because it's like, I told you it was day to day. It's the same exact thing as last time.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Right. Well, that's all. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, she got other things to worry about right now other than that.
Yeah. Timothy says, Cash, if you ever watch McKenna's game, can we get thoughts on her play? Yeah, we'll get Jean's thoughts. We'll try to get that footage over to her. Cool Water Swish says, Kachine, where are we going to get that? I don't know what this is in regards to.
He's talking about my dog comment and when we were talking about transfers.
Oh, well.
In the transfer portal.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of dogs.
That's where I hope to get them from.
Yeah. And Richard says Tegan made a big splash in her first few minutes as a Hawk. It was then that exhibition game a year ago. She hasn't been able to reproduce that energy. Hard to read too far into an exhibition, right? I mean, I was hopeful that her 3-point shooting, since she is a taller, 3/4, she'd be able to get that shot off in big moments. But if she's such a liability on defense and she's not making those threes, it would kind of go back to the conversation we had with Taylor McCabe in her early years. But I think Tegan might be like, she's on the same level as Taylor McCabe was as a defender when Taylor first got there. And that was not a good thing. But Taylor did at least prove when she was in there she could hit threes. And so far we've not seen that in games that matter from Tegan, although she's not playing much right now or at all. Bobby says, just imagine Cash wearing some of Mulkey's fits.
Absolutely not.
That's not
absolutely not. I'm a fashionista. Don't get it twisted, but that's outrageous.
Okay.
It needs to be seen. There's a difference.
Tina brings up the same thing. Maybe this is actually Tina. This Tina. She went over from Twitter
probably
to Facebook.
The same one. Yeah.
Twitter to YouTube. So hopefully we answered your question, Tina. We'll try to catch that press conference footage. Michael, thank you for reminding everybody to hit the like button before we yell at you. All right, last 2 callers. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Coach Kachine Alexander. We're going to call you Coach for now because I said it. So welcome to the show. Who's on the line? Hello. Hello, you're on the air. We can't hear you.
How long have they been on hold?
23 minutes.
That's not horrible. I be feeling bad when people be on hold for like 50 minutes. I feel bad. I'm like, dang.
Hey, is anybody on the line? Beep, beep.
Hello.
All right. Well, how about we just we'll go to the
call
other
back.
call. We'll go to the other call, and then we'll check in on them in a minute. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
It's Kyle Thompson.
Hey, Kyle. How are you?
Oh, sorry. Did you lose me for a sec?
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
And been watching some playoff football, and the Niners beat the Eagles, and Kittle's done for the year towards Achilles.
Oh,
that's horrible. I know all about that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And that guy has a real hard time staying healthy, Kyle. I feel for George Kittle. Yeah. I mean, he's made quite a career out of himself.
Falling apart.
Yeah, he has got serious problems with his health.
Yeah, and the Niners just losing players.
So who won? You said the Eagles won that game?
No, the Niners won.
Oh, the Niners won. Okay. Well,
good for them.
But now they had to do it without their tight end. So
let's get to the basketball. On the super chat, I saw like something. I was like, it's kind of true. It's like there's like too much negativity after a win.
From who? From us or from the chat?
It happens all the time.
Chat.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again,
we're used to it.
And we got to have some balance, right, Kachine? I mean, we're analyzing the game. The reality is this is not a good win. It's a win.
We stole it.
They stole a game against a team that right now is toward the bottom of the league, who's like 0-6 in the league. So you are happy with the win. We're just concerned moving forward. But again, there's positives here. It's hard to be upset with a win. You're right, Kyle.
And it's hard to win on the road in the Big Ten. You're gonna have games like this.
Yeah,
and they're on the way to win.
Absolutely. And they did that.
Can't just make it a habit because it's starting to become a pattern. That's 2 games now.
And Corey, I want to give a quick question about men's basketball. I know I missed the show today, but I saw like after the game was like a tweet is like Drake versus the Big Ten. Like, do you kind of agree with that? Because it's mostly just Drake guys versus the whole Big Ten.
Well, if it's Drake versus the Big Ten, I think they're holding their own pretty well. I mean, Alvaro's playing a ton, and I know he was from a mid-major last year, but these guys all improved. So, there's a lot of really good players that are in the Big Ten from mid-majors, and Drake was a really good mid-major last year. So I get it. That's a narrative, but, if they can get back to their winning ways, it's going to be difficult. They got 2 tough games in Indiana, one against the Hoosiers, one against the Boilers. But if they get back on winning track, you won't hear as much there.
Yeah, and for both teams, try to get back healthy and get rid of the sickness.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. All right, Kyle. And, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Thank you for taking the call. Go Hawks.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate the
call. Of course. Thank you.
All right. Let's see if we got our caller back on the line. Caller, do we got you?
Can you hear me?
Hey, we got you.
Hey. I wasn't on mute or anything either. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me, so I don't know what's going on. Is this Christy? Yeah, this is Christy.
Hey, Christy. Yeah, we couldn't
Hi, guys.
hear you. We got you loud and clear now.
So just a couple quick things to kind of answer some of the comments in the chat, actually. As far as the triangle, they did ask Lisa Bluter about it, and she is on the record saying with this team in particular, she would also be running the triangle. So,
interesting.
What
are your thoughts on that, Cash? Why are you going off camera to laugh? You can laugh on camera, Kachine.
Because Lisa Bluter is never going to publicly out Coach J ever in life.
Well, didn't she do that? Isn't that what she? Christy, you're saying that she has said that before?
No, she went on somebody must have asked her. I don't know. She is on the record saying with this team, she would also be running the triangle.
I got you. Okay.
So she's backing up.
I got you. Okay. I misunderstood what
Coach
you said.
J. Now, whether that's how she really feels or whatever, but obviously, they do still talk. So I think if there was a better alternative, maybe she would.
She can't do nothing about it now, anyways. Even if there wasn't.
Yeah. She's not going to make a change mid-season.
Yeah, you can't make a whole new offense. Whatever. The only thing you can do is try to alter it or something.
Yeah, the triangle's here to stay. They got to figure out how to make it work with what they have. And then somebody said there was a comment about Coach J not being accountable in the press conferences, and I watch all of them. In almost every press conference, she takes accountability for something. So I don't know if they're seeing all of them, but I feel like she is accountable for the stuff that's on her.
Yeah,
she said, maybe I should have made a different substitution here, or maybe I was too quick to take him out of zone. So I have the exact opposite. I actually misread her question and thought she said she's too accountable, like she's not putting enough on the team, but that's not what she said. So
yeah, sometimes
that sounds more like Jan. I remember.
Yeah,
I'm not in the business of dissecting press conferences. However, I will say this. The only thing that I would say has bothered me a little bit with Jan and press conferences, and I was comparing it to like how Ben McCollum so you had the Cy-Hawk games back-to-back days, right? And I listened to Jan post-game and I listened to Ben McCollum post-game. They both lost close games in Ames against really good teams. Different ways, but really good teams. And one thing that Ben did was like, hey, there's no moral victories here. Like, I hate losing. This sucks. We got to do better. Jan goes on behind the podium, and I guess it's just a difference of style, Cash. And she's just like, hey, we played a really good team tonight. And yeah, we lost, but I'm really inspired. And I'm like, part of me is, well, the competitive part of me is like, I don't want to hear that.
But
like,
that's Ben McCollum. That's the difference.
I know. So like, is one right and one's wrong, or is it just difference of styles?
It's the difference of what you care about. I think like you are a competitive person by nature and you want to hear some fire behind it, right? Like, so that you resonate with Ben more than Jan does. And there's other people who, for example, the same people who is like, oh, it's a negativity and we won. They resonate with Coach J because that's like, they want to live in the rainbows and peaches and flower beds and whatever else. So that's totally fine. I like to live in reality and I like to figure out what the problem is so I can get better at it. That's me. So I'm more Ben than the other.
But is Jan that way behind closed doors?
What do you mean?
I mean, is that just coach speak that she went in talking with the media?
There's not. So both of them are coach speak, just differently. Coach J is a flower, smell the roses. That's who she is. She's all positive. That is Coach J. She's always been positive. She still wants to get better, but how she handles it is solely positive. Like, okay, well, we did this. We did so well. I'm so proud of you guys. And da-da-da-da. Where other coaches is going to be, I don't give a damn about none of that.
Can you achieve, can you achieve greatness with both styles?
Depends on the players that you have on your team.
Well, in one of her press conferences, she was talking about how she was getting on them, and she was like, she's kind of saying it. She's like, well, I can't say exactly what I said because it wouldn't be appropriate, but I was upset and I went in and I kind of gave them the what for, Yeah. So I think she has it in her to do it when she feels it's necessary, and like Cash said, I think she's also reading the players she has that maybe. She has so many young players, too. You have to keep that in mind. She can't come down on them like a whole group of seniors who have been there for 4 or 5 years.
That depends on the player.
Maybe pound on them a little bit. Yeah, that's true.
You could come down on me.
It got a lot of young
people. Just depends on the person. That's why I said it depends on the players that you have on your team. There are some players who cannot handle that. They just can't handle a coach that is like raw. They just can't. And that's fine. And then there's players who don't take you seriously because you're not yelling at them.
And Lisa Bluter was more of the bad cop to Jan's good cop, right?
Yeah, you have to. Now, I don't know who that is. Can't even tell you. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin in that scenario because it definitely ain't Abby. So and it's definitely not Randy. She don't strike me as that type either. So I don't know. Can't tell you. But you definitely need a good and bad cop. Now, Coach J was the good cop. So, I don't know. how that works. She was a good cop. Coach Bluder was a bad cop. So I'm assuming she needs a bad cop.
Hopefully she gives him a little more fire sometimes,
Yes.
And then just kind of the last point, I'm going to refer to these 2 games as our virus games.
Okay.
Because, obviously we know some of the players, or at least Chit Chat was sick last time.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the chance of her coming down with the flu again this year? Probably not going to happen.
Slim.
Right? And then
unless
this one, I just think the team in the first half became infected with stupid, and the wheels fell off. Just they couldn't hit. Nobody could hit. It was like the team caught a bug, and just nothing was happening. It was just that first quarter was just painful to watch. But the whole second half of the game, like the team showed up.
Yep.
Somebody lit a fire at halftime.
Somebody did.
Right? And then the team that we have seen be successful in the past showed up. So we had one game, 100% virus game. They managed to win. In this game, half of it was a virus. So hopefully we're done. We've worked it out of our system.
Well, they get Oregon back at home. So it's a good time to come back.
That's the next one?
Yep. They get Oregon Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. So the fans will show up.
Yeah.
We'll bring our pom-poms.
There you go.
And we'll cheer real loud, and we'll have worked through our virus games.
Work through the
I
virus.
like that. That's a good one.
Games.
That's a good one.
Christy, we appreciate your support. Thanks for being a part of the show.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. VMS says, after the Indiana game, a football team stole a win from us earlier. I appreciated letting them think that they were going to win and then snatch it away. A little bit different stakes today than the football, I guess, but it's a Big Ten game. It's a regular Big Ten regular season game. So VMS, thank you for the super chat. And D. Rollison says Cash could play bad cop via Zoom. Do that, Kachine?
That's funny.
No, they just got to fly her up there, man. They just got to fly her up. That's all they got to do. T. Hink says Cash, the midi game is in the Discord. So
my guy.
Another great reason to be on Discord.
Love the Discord.
Flyer wants you to be the bad cop on Zoom at halftime when needed.
I guess.
Can you imagine if like that they had you on speed dial for half times, like if they're struggling or okay, we're
you would have to. It would have to be like, for example, right? Coach Bluder could do that because they already have a rapport with her. Like I would have to have a rapport with every single person on that team in order for that to even come across as anything. Yeah. Like Coach Bluder could do that. They could Zoom her in at halftime and they would be locked in, right? Because they have a certain level of respect for her and blah, 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 blah. But,
Okay, our Big Grove big play of the day was Chit Chat Wright's 3-point shot with 3:41 left in the fourth.
Cold-blooded.
Gave Iowa a 1-point lead, 51-50 in the back and forth fourth quarter. Big Grove's big play of the day. And our player of the game today was Hannah Stolke with 12 and 12. 5 of 9 from the field. Yes, she's limited with her outside game or range. But, she's to Cash's point last time out. If this is what her ceiling is offensively, she better be crashing the glass. She did that tonight with 12 rebounds. They ain't winning without those 12 rebounds.
Let me make a statement because there was a certain individual in the comments that was talking about when I said that Hannah's hit her ceiling and they felt like that was either clickbait or a headline. Let me make this very clear. When I say ceiling, I am talking about the Iowa women's basketball Hawkeyes. I'm not talking about her life. I'm not talking about anything of the sort. I'm talking about right now while she's here.
Reasonable people.
She is, 2 months left? She has hit her ceiling, okay? She's not developing better in the next month and a half, 2 months that she's here. It's just not happening. Now, again, could she, if she, goes overseas or by golly, maybe she plays well and maybe she gets to the fever and Caitlin Clark propels her again? Maybe, right? Training camp and she gets somewhere. Could she get better? Yes, because it's literally the only thing that she is doing, which is playing basketball. That is if she wants to. But as far as Iowa women's basketball and wearing that black and gold, Yeah, the ceiling. She already tapped it. There's nothing left.
With all due respect, she's not making a WNBA team.
Well, like I said, I've seen crazier things happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, so
I've seen crazier things happen.
We won't turn it into another bashing. I'm not trying to do that. So
no, there's no bashing at all. I'm just saying, like I said, I've seen crazier things happen as far as somebody making the team. I'm saying and making sure people understand when I say hit her ceiling, I'm talking about wearing the black and gold.
Yeah. Big Grove Brewery is the official watch party headquarters of the Hawks. I'm sure there's some people over there watching this game today. And you can check out all their locations at biggrove.com. Big Grove Brewery across the state of Iowa, the official craft brewery of your Hawkeyes. Richard says, Cash, give Hannah a chance.
At what?
I see.
Are we talking about like, I don't know. I don't understand.
I choose to display it, right? I choose to display it just to needle. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to ruffle feathers. And
he said Cash giving Hannah a chance, as in I'm giving her a chance to make a team.
Oh, is that what he said? Oh, he did say that. I can't read.
Because you already had it made up in your mind what he was trying to say, Corey.
Amen. Oh man. All right, folks. We appreciate you being here. Your Iowa Hawkeyes, they won another Big Ten game. That's what's important. 56-53, and they did it on the road. Iowa moving on to Oregon. The Ducks will come to town on Thursday to Carver-Hawkeye Arena. Iowa will try to stay unbeaten. They'll try to move to 6-0 in league play. Kachine, we appreciate you being here, and we'll hope to talk to you Thursday.
Absolutely.
Folks, for Kachine, I'm Corey. We'll talk to you soon.